I, 24M, am worried that my sister, 26F, has feelings for my girlfriend, 24F. My GF and I have been together for 2.5 years and we have a really great relationship. My sister and I have always been close, so I was really happy when she and GF met and hit it off right away. They get along insanely well and it's awesome, or was awesome. It might be important to point out that they are both bisexual. Everything was normal up until about 3 months ago. They started hanging out together more often than usual, taking day trips and having sleepovers and going for dinner, etc. I didn't care about it initially. I thought it was cool that the two most important women in my life were such good friends. Then my sister, Amy, started making comments saying that if we ever broke up she's first in line to date my GF, Emily. She calls Emily her wifey and follows her around like a lost puppy. Amy says that Emily is our girlfriend and I swear she gets jealous when I interact with her. Then last week I got home from work and as I walked through the door I could hear them chatting in the living room. This isn't out of the ordinary. It was what I heard that really bothered me. My sister said, "Holy fuck. I have such a crush on you," in the most lustful voice I've ever heard. I really hated typing that. Emily laughed and their conversation moved on, but it really didn't sit well with me, so later on I asked Emily what they were talking about. I think context is important. She told me that they went shopping earlier in the day and were doing a little fashion show for each other. She said that those kinds of comments are normal between girlfriends and it's nothing to worry about. It made sense to me and I trust Emily. I decided to talk to Amy. I asked how their shopping spree went, etc. And then gently asked her what the crush comment was about. She got very defensive and accused me of being jealous of her relationship with Emily, then told me to grow the fuck up. I'm not worried about Emily doing anything behind my back to betray me, and I never have. There's just something about the way my sister is acting that irks me, and I don't know how to approach this without blowing up any of our relationships. TLDR. I think my sister is into my GF and I don't know how to deal with the situation without ruining relationships. GF sister, comments. V9507T, update I 24 meters am worried that my sister 26F has, UTM source equals share UTM medium equals web 2x context equals 3.
If your sister was a man and doing these same things, including the sleepovers, you would have no doubt what's going on. I'd tell both of them this has gone too far and needs to stop. I don't think you want to marry into this situation.
Why am I having flashbacks to that one post on Aida about a girl being absolutely mad her BF and her twin brother were actually together all the time and used her as a shield? By the BF dating her for years and not telling her. I have a bad feeling up.
Okay, well be prepared because now matter what you are gonna hurt some feelings. There is no gentle way. She calls Emily her wifey and follows her around like a lost puppy. Amy says that Emily is our girlfriend and I swear she gets jealous when I interact with her. Talk to your GF about it, say your sister is jealous, say your sister sees her as our GF and that you are not okay with that. Talk about less hanging out with your sister. And do not back down. And see what happens. Basically tell her what you wrote in this post. To your sister. Say that you don't like it and be stern. Tell her to only come over if you are around. Wish you the best. This situation is crazy. If either one of them does not accept your boundaries, it is time to break up with one of them.
Okay, so your GF is enabling your sister. She needs to put some definite boundaries, otherwise this can turn ugly very quickly. You should really talk to your GF. Sit her down and tell her you feel uncomfortable with the way both interact with each other. If she gets defensive, you'll know that more is going on and that she probably, most definitely because otherwise she would have already done it, enjoys the attention and compliments. If that happens, I'd advise you to really think through if you really want to stay with someone who is constantly flirting with your sister, and will probably end up doing more than just emotionally cheat. However, if she's understanding and changes her behavior, then you should only worry about putting some space between you both and your sister. Good luck to you.
I have hugged my friends and even kissed them or flirted with them jokingly, but I would never tell them I have a crush on them or that I am next in line to date them. Your GF can't seriously think this is normal.
She said that those kinds of comments are normal between girlfriends and it's nothing to worry about. She's lying to herself. I'm bi and I only ever got those comments from women who were interested in me sexually, for serious. Furthermore, even if Emily views their friendship as healthy, your sister wants her and has made that position clear to you. Tell Emily what Amy has told you. Emily needs to set healthy boundaries with Amy. If Amy can't back off the flirting and romance, they need to back off the friendship as a whole.
Would you allow a brother to make those comments? Ask Emily, if you had a brother and he made the crush comment, would that be okay?
If her sister was her brother, y'all would have already been fighting out in the front yard. This is fucked up.
Thank you for the context. I do call my closet friends, wifey, and I call their children my children. I've called them beautiful and sexy. But what I have never done was say I have a crush on them. That isn't normal between platonic friends. No matter the gender. UGF is wrong for going along with the flirting and your sister is dead wrong for flirting in the first place.
I do what a lot of people are already suggesting and sitting down with your GF and defining boundaries. From what it seems like to me so far as your sister has feelings for your GF, but your GF might not feel the same way and would rather just laugh it off than confront her about it. So I wouldn't suggest sitting down with your sister cause based on her reaction when you tried the soft confrontation that will probably just devolve into her getting defensive and confrontational. So sit down with your GF and be honest with her. Tell her that you're uncomfortable with the nature of their relationship and that it is time to set boundaries in your relationship. Offer to let her define some boundaries for you too so she doesn't feel attacked or like you don't trust her. Then if this behavior continues, maybe consider snooping her phone or something and just finding out. The peace of mind will do you good.
My sister said, "Holy fuck. I have such a crush on you." She said that those kinds of comments are normal between girlfriends and it's nothing to worry about. No, this is not normal talk between girlfriends. Maybe in a porn movie. This reminds me of the guy whose fiancé ended up cheating with his sister. Then they got married and they wanted him at the wedding. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, looks like your sister likes your girlfriend and either your girlfriend is really clueless or your girlfriend reciprocates your sister's feelings and they are seeing each other behind your back.
Of course your sister is going to be mad about this. She's the one with the crush that shouldn't be there. You, International Yam 80, has some great advice already, so, keep a spine up. Don't stress over the possibility of your sister stealing your GF. I'm sure Emily is far more mature there. Set boundaries.
I don't know how to approach this without blowing up any of our relationships. Your sister is kinda doing that already. She's flirting with your girlfriend. Not okay under any circumstances.
While I think that women tend to be much closer and intimate in friendships, your sister does seem to be having some romantic feelings for your GF. I would talk to your GF about how it's making you uncomfortable when someone else is calling her their GF or wife so often and making sexual comments about her. Tell her how you feel that Amy seems jealous when you two interact. Maybe it'll open her eyes to see something she didn't before.
The first and only time I ever called a girl wifey, I ended up dating her for 5 months. While this wouldn't be exactly labeled as emotional cheating, your girlfriend is not seeing the forest. Your sister's behavior is completely inappropriate towards your girlfriend and completely disrespectful to you. Our girlfriend. What a weird fucking sentence. I think first talk to your girlfriend, get the scope of the situation and see if there was anything else inappropriate said by your sister, and then confront your sister.
I was ready to come for you in the comments, because as a bisexual woman I know we often get stereotyped into being hypersexual and whatnot. But after reading your side, it does clearly seem like your sister has a crush on your girlfriend. I highly doubt your girlfriend feels the same back, but given the comments your sister has made, that's definitely not just how girls talk to each other. You need to sit down and talk to Emily, and tell her pretty much exactly what you said here. Say you're happy that they have a bond, but some of the specific comments your sister made you feel uncomfortable. You're allowed to feel that way. Tell her what Amy says, such as calling her girlfriend too, and how these comments come across as flirting. The most important thing here is, do not make accusations that something has happened. Emily has given you no reason not to trust her. As a bisexual person, keep in mind it's a common stereotype that we're all just a bunch of horny cheaters because we have more options, and it's a vulnerable position to be out to your partner and honest about who you are. So just understand that your sister or Emily might get defensive because it's a hot button topic, so make sure to ignore gender and sexual orientation here and just focus solely on the specific words that were said and her actions, as if your sister was a male friend. Just sit down with Emily and say what you said here. They're the two most important women in your life, but given Amy's comments, you're not comfortable with them having sleepovers alone because you think it's inappropriate to sleep in the same bed given that one of them has an apparent crush. Maybe kindly ask if she can take a breather from hanging out with her for a bit, because she might not realize that Amy has a crush on her and may be enabling her behavior or feelings to continue by thinking it's innocent.
Their relationship with each other makes you uncomfortable, period. I don't think the intentions behind the behavior matter since it continues despite the knowledge that you don't feel okay with it. Since you already talked to your sister, I think it's time to talk to Emily about boundaries and where yours are. Edit. Got the name switched up and added punctuation.
Your girlfriend is loving getting all this attention. I'm a girl, I've dated other girls. I've never told any of my female friends I had a crush on them. I would never tell my brothers, so I had a crush on them. You see what's happening, don't ignore your gut.
If she has genuine feelings for Emily, that is possible, it happens, she should distance herself out of respect for her brother's relationship. I'd show your GF this post and talk to her about it, then talk to your sister and get some distance between her and your GF at least for a while.
Damn, I just saw a post about a guy saying his sister is marrying his ex-fiancé and he wasn't going to go to the wedding.
Talk to your sister as she was your brother.
This is a very difficult situation for you. My take is dual. Your sister is out of line. Siblings don't do that whether they are straight or gay. Imagine if it was a brother who was behaving like this, saying, "I have a crush on you," or, "I'd date her if you broke up." Would be so out of line. I also think your GF's reaction to your legitimate concern is problematic. She should be on your side. Being defensive and saying, "Grow up," is a bit toxic NGL. If it was me, I think I'd have a word with my sister and explain I think she's acting inappropriately and to respect your own feelings.
Talk to Emily about your sister's reaction and tell her that while she may have seen the comment as platonic, you're pretty sure your sister has a legitimate crush on her. You've known your sister long enough that you probably know when she has a crush on someone. It's up to Emily to have the conversation with Amy, tell her she's not interested, and establish boundaries in their friendship. If Emily is not willing to do any of that, then the other comments are probably right in saying that she's enjoying the attention, which would be a shitty thing to do to both you and Amy.
Why does this remind me of that one Aida post where a guy's twin sister marries his ex and gets upset over him not coming to the wedding?
I know everyone is jumping on cheating as usual. But even my 100% straight female friends will say that kind of thing to me. It's just kinda how a lot of girls talk to each other, and I know most here are guys who cannot even give another guy a compliment without it getting weird. Doesn't mean you can't ask them to just not joke about that because it makes you uncomfortable. That should be an easy compromise. I think there's an assumption bisexual people will just sleep with anyone as well, homophobia. See the comment made directly after me. I'm not saying I know what's going on, it's just something to consider. I'd have a conversation with your GF about how you feel and you guys can set up boundaries to help you both feel secure in your relationship without making the other feel constricted in their friendships. I really think you guys would be able to find a quick solution. You should have talked to your GF first in this situation, emo. Kinda shocked you didn't? Like, why would you go to before her? In most relationships, this issue could be nipped in the bud in a 1-minute conversation.
It sounds like you're winning. Have them both and call it a day.
WTF, I would never tell a friend I have a huge crush on them. Those comments aren't normal, that's fucking weird. I think your GF needs to set some boundaries and your sister needs to back the fuck off. The fact she got so defensive about it is a huge red flag too.
Okay, as a bisexual woman here, the comments are somewhat normal amongst some girls, but it's the violation boundaries that isn't, and your sister and GF need to see that and be fair. Telling somebody you're first in line to date their partner when they break up is really gross even as a joke.
Combined with everything else, your sister really has the hots for her.
No easy way to do this. You're just gonna have to sit your GF down and set your boundaries. You are uncomfortable with her relationship with your sister and you want them to hang out less because you feel platonic boundaries have been crossed.
Be honest with your girlfriend about how you're feeling, but be wary of using any forceful language to start. Ultimately, her friendship with your sister seems important to her, and if you come off as more insecure than concerned, your sister could use that to her advantage and Emily could easily dismiss you as overreacting. If your sister is already testing the boundaries of how close she can get to your girlfriend without being rejected, I wouldn't put it past her to try to create a wedge in your relationship if she feels her own with Emily is being threatened. Maybe ask your girlfriend to have a serious and private conversation with your sister, to ensure that she hasn't developed ulterior motives. I'm sure initially that wasn't likely her intention, but we do tend to develop romantic feelings for people we bond with. She may just need a reality check in a more private manner to try to salvage the friendships here.
Your GF needs better boundaries with your sister. And your sis-def likes your GF.
I think I'd bring your girlfriend home and ask her to keep her distance from your sister.
The main issue is not the comments. It's the defensiveness you're receiving from your sister. I'm hella flirty with my best friend, even more than in your situation, and we're both bisexual, but we both are in relationships and I would absolutely cut it out if it made anyone uncomfortable. Your sister is acting like your boundaries are absurd, which just proves that they interfere with her agenda. Have a conversation with both your sister and girlfriend separately about the boundaries you need to have.
I'm a female and I'm straight. Me and my female friends that are also straight have never once told each other that we have a crush on one another. So I don't find it normal for girls to talk to each other like that.
I would talk to your girlfriend instead. Tell her that you trust her completely, but are afraid that your sister will possibly do something to blow the whole thing up. Tell her about your sister starting to snap at you for any comments you have made or questions that were perfectly innocent acting out of character, and it's starting to concern you. Man, this whole thing to me sounds like it's a landmine just waiting to be stepped on, and won't end well.
I'm queer and in my friend group we are constantly acting in all of these ways. Marry me. Where's the U-Haul? Let's become Sapphic Cottagecore wives. We bought a really funny gag gift dildo for one of our friends who we thought was behaving like a maniac because of being pent up. LMAO. Not to mention most of us have been friends since high school, which was like 10 plus years ago now. Most of us have partners and this kind of banter happens between all of us. It's like a weird way of gassing each other up. No one in our group genuinely has an interest in each other. I love my partner more than life itself, and never have felt interested in anyone else. Queer culture tends to lean this way. The gay guys I know will post Insta stories about their also gay best friend and call them the love of their life. But they aren't dating, or even interested in each other. You gotta believe that people can be just friends with people who belong to genders that they find attractive. Not saying to not be cautious. Follow your gut, but remember that insecurity is not your gut. If something feels weird or off, don't let your sister convince you otherwise.
Can we get an update after you confront Emily?
You gotta sleep with both of them to show your dominance.